Revelation 1788. From the 26th of January 1941. Thoughts. Consequences of the will. Man's thoughts move in the direction that corresponds to his will. And it can be concluded from this that the human being can also be held responsible for his thoughts. Thus he makes himself ready to receive such spiritual transmissions which his will does not oppose. He makes use of the strength of beings in the beyond who want to give, and depending on whether his will is open to truth or lies, the giving beings are also good or evil. Therefore, if the human being feels forced into thinking, he offers too little resistance to the spiritual power which wants to express itself, and this power now gains the upper hand. Good and evil forces want to take possession of the human being. What the human being wants is decisive. Just as he is himself, just as his nature is, so are the beings that approach him. If the human being wants good, the good beings will also approach him, just as the evil will also attract the evil beings who now want to communicate with him. But a human being is never taught by beings against his will. It is always first the will which is decisive for the knowledge he now receives. Thus thoughts are transmissions from the kingdom of the beyond which the human beings will requests. But the will is completely free, it can request what it feels drawn to, but this also entails consequences, and the consequences are now to the soul's advantage or disadvantage. Thus the will is responsible for the soul's damage, for all thoughts received by the human being, which are transmissions of lower spiritual beings, cannot but badly influence the soul, and thus its higher development is called into question, whereas every impartation of good spiritual beings must also result in good again, and the will is the cause of spiritual progress. And therefore the striving for truth, the desire for God, depends on human will. Every thought is born from human will, that is, it is only the result of the human being's decision of will. Thoughts will always be of such a kind that they agree with the human will, or the human will decides in favor of such thoughts which are founded in its nature. Therefore, the human being will be called to account if his will strives for thoughts which harm his soul, because he was also free to recognize and desire the good. Amen.